Now, the opposition New Patriotic Party Ashanti Regional Chairman Bernard Entry Buesiako, also known as Chairman Wontumi, has pleaded not guilty to charges of assignment of mineral rights without approval and purposely facilitating an unlicensed mining operation. Wontumi has also been granted a bail of 15 million Ghana cedis with 3 sureties. 2 out of the 3 sureties are to be persons with landed properties. He's to deposit his passport with the Registrar of the High Court. He's also to be placed on a stop list at all the entry points. The 3 sureties are to deposit copies of the Ghana card and with the Registrar of the Court. Now, Wontumi is to report to the investigators every first and third Monday of the month. The investigator is to file evidence of the entries at the end of the month. Wontumi, together with 2 others, including his company, Akunta Mining, have been arraigned at the High Court over illegal mining-related offences. And my colleague, Lord Edward Sari, is currently in court. He'll be joining us very shortly. Meanwhile, 12 individuals are expected to appear before the Takwa Circuit Court for causing damage to a section of the Takwa-Takrady railway line at Achim in the Takwa and Swahili municipality. This came to light when the Western Regional Minister Joseph Nelson led the Regional Security Council to the location of the destruction.
A railway line critical for Ghana's manganese exports is facing severe threats from illegal miners. The narrow gauge line owned by the Ghana Manganese Company Limited for hauling products to the Takrady port has been significantly damaged and encroached upon by illegal activities. In response to a viral video documenting the extensive damage near Achim, a high-level team made up of the Western Regional Minister Joseph Nelson, MP for Takwa and Swahili Issa Salif Futela, and the National Security Liaison Officer conducted an on-site inspection on Monday to evaluate the situation. Illegal miners had dug out the entire foundation beneath the railway bridge, stripping away all the soil and leaving the metal rails precariously suspended in mid-air.
I think that for the police, you have to really make your monitoring devices even more sensitive. This didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen within 2 weeks. Certainly, it didn't happen within just 1 month. It's been going on for a while. And so I think that your system for scanning the whole environment must be sharper so that we're able to avoid such damage.
Further ahead, entire sections of the rail line had been removed, with the embankment collapsing into the water. The regional minister, very disturbed, called on traditional leaders to take control of their communities and urged the Ghana Railways Authority to increase patrols to prevent further destruction.
And in fact, I want to believe that those who do these things live in this town. They live here. They've rented houses here. They live here. That is where they get up every morning and come. They are in the communities. And so to think that this has been going on for weeks, and we couldn't get any public-spirited person, no leader here to show up to say that, look, this thing must stop. If anybody, any leader from this community had come here to really show concern, had come here to show leadership, I believe that this matter would have ended as soon as the people showed up.
However, residents blamed the situation on certain individuals within the Ghana Railways Authority. They claim that 2 officers from the authority had told them the new standard gauge line under construction would not pass through the Achim community.
Just 6,000 cedis. Because boys in way you man, Obi and your baby, one of come the one. No, I'm a boy, we to Tradina because I will back catch I do my work as some was in nanum. I will run with near your quantity, make a quan of and tribute. It's in another woman than you.
To tackle the current crisis, the youth and community members are taking action to reclaim the legal mining sites in Achim.
You could try near by your so. Ajasia, a youth near your Kumiha. yɛne akyem youth obi a wɔ akyem krom bia ɔyɛ nyɔmbɔ ete dɛ me obiala gye ne ho di obiala gye ne ho di nti yɛne yɛnim dɛ adwuma wei yɛbɛtim ayɛ.
For the effective supervision, the Assistant Superintendent of Tracks at the Ghana Railways, Samson Nyame, disclosed that it has become very difficult for them to go on monitoring and supervision of the rail lines as the only rail car for monitoring has broken down.
We have to get mobility. We use railway and the rail car, and the rail car is now spoiled. It's now at Takwa. So we don't have any ways and means to come to lie, even apart from Takwa to this thing, Benso. We don't have any means to travel more than 4 miles.
In the meantime, the operational commander of the Western Central Police Command, ASP Edem Salasi, who briefed the Western Regional Minister, says 12 individuals were arrested in connection with the damage of the rail line at Achim and will be appearing before Takwa Circuit Court on Tuesday, October 7.
That is to say that we actually heard information about the people working very close to the railway track, and when we came, we managed to arrest 12 people, and as I speak to you now, they are facing court action. And in fact, we realized that the place was in a very deplorable state. And
Irama Smith, TV3 News. TV3 News.
And you had that report filed for us by Irama Smith. Let's speak to Mr. Seth Wolashime. He's a mining consultant. Good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. And we lost him on the line. You're still here on the Midday News on Sri FM 92.7.
Accra, Ghana, Africa.
The impending levy on the Sports Development Fund currently before Parliament. The government is seeking the levy to develop aspects of sports that remain underdeveloped. In September, President John Mahama gave his blessing to the proposal as Cabinet firmed up the final details of the bill for the Sports Development Fund. Sports Minister Kofi Adams explained this in an earlier interview with us. Listen.
We are putting in all measures, especially knowing that that's going to be the final game. Every Ghanaian would want to be there. So we put in all the necessary measures, creating the fan bases around for Ghanaians to have a feel of our final qualification game for the World Cup. So I believe that all will do well. By Wednesday, we should have the tickets out so that people can start purchasing tickets for the game. We will once again engage with the security to make sure all the necessary security networks are put in place, so people who are coming to watch the game and people who are also coming to play will have a safe environment.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Kofi, why are you introducing a sports levy?
Sports levy?
Yes.
I didn't hear anybody talk about.
We are told that the government is introducing a sports levy.
No, government is introducing a sports fund. that will be able to take care of, or we will have a well-structured funding for sports. We do not have that, and because we do not have a fund, just like the way we have for education, for health and the rest, it's actually challenged our supports for what? Sports and sporting activities. Young people qualify, they struggle, they go through all the processes, and you are unable to push them to participate in the competition. So the government have decided to establish a sports fund, a fund into which all manner of contributions will go into the private corporates, the public corporates, individuals, government itself, and through many other sources we'll be able to put money in there to use in the development of sports.
What is before Parliament now, and does it come with a levy? Because that's a media discussion that government is introducing.
Let's work with what's before Parliament. You see it. Every document that goes to Parliament, you will find it. You can't establish a fund without a levy.
And Heather, the sports minister, Kofi Adams, President John Mahama has presented a 500,000 Ghana Cedi cash reward to the University for Development Studies following the remarkable victory at the FICU FISU World University Football Tournament in China. UDS, who made history as the first African university to win the global competition, paid a courtesy call on the president at the Jubilee House, where they presented the trophy.
From Tamale to the world stage, this perfectly embodies the spirit of the reset agenda. Ghana rising through discipline, opportunity, and excellence. And so let me once again congratulate Professor Alassane, the Vice Chancellor, your academic team and management team. Congratulate the UDS community and all who supported the team on this journey. You've brought glory to Ghana and renewed the faith in the power of young people, education, and sports to transform lives. Carry this your victory with humility. Let it inspire others to dream boldly and work hard. Good news for you. The presidency is also pleased to present you with something. We won't let you go empty-handed. So this is 500,000 Ghana cedis to be presented to Professor. It's a reward to the team for the good job you have done.
And he had the President John Mahama. Let's return to our earlier story about what's happening at the court today. Chairman Wontumi and the charges against him and two others. Lord Edwasare is our court affairs correspondent. He joins us live on the line. Lord, if you can briefly summarize what transpired in court and the other charges against Wontumi for us. Lord, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Wontumi pleaded not two charges that were proffered against him. Now, the case was against himself, another accused person, Kwame Intwi, who, according to the prosecution, is at large, and then the third being Akonta Mining, the firm which he's a co-shareholder. Now, he pleaded not guilty, and then because he represented his company, Akonta Mining, and so the charges as well, he pleaded not guilty in that regard. Now, his lawyers led by Andy Apiakubi, prayed for a bill for him, indicating that, for example, he was already on a police inquiry bill, which was granted him when he appeared before the CID on Monday. He indicated that Wontumi is a man of repute. He's very known. He's a family man with wives and children. And so it's not that he's flight risk. He's someone that his sureties are on standby to post the bill because they are persons of substance. And so they have cooperated so far, and so he wouldn't bring any trouble whatsoever. But the Attorney General, or prosecution led by the Deputy Attorney General, Dr. Justice Remsai, he did not oppose that bill application, except that he indicated that there was a need for the courts to use stiff or tough bill conditions so that Wontumi will not leave the jurisdiction, because he's someone who has a lot of wherewithal, and so if they are not very tight about the situation, he could leave. He indicated that, contrary to what the lawyer was saying, Wontumi has not been very cooperative, because when he was invited, the AG at the press conference on Friday had to compel him to appear before the court on Monday, indicated that, for example, the second accused person, Kwame Ntwi, there's no evidence that that person even exists. So there's a need for the court to approach that matter very dicily and make sure that the conditions are tight. So after hearing the argument from both sides of the divide, the presiding judge, Audrey Kokuvi Tay, granted Wontumi a 15 million bail with three conditions. Two of those sureties are supposed to have landed properties. As part of the conditions, Wontumi is supposed to report to the investigator twice every month, which is the first Monday and first Wednesday of every month. He's supposed to deposit his passport to the court's registry, and then his name has been put on a stop list across all the entry points in the country so that he will not leave the jurisdiction. Now, as I speak to you, Wontumi's lawyers are still upstairs trying to work around the bail conditions and post the bill, and so he hasn't left yet. I spoke to the Attorney General early on, who confirmed that there is a second case against Wontumi, which will be heard later in the day today. We still do not have the details of that case against him yet. We're still snooping around. We'll get to know that, and then we'll communicate that in due time, Beatrice.
Thank you very much, Lord Edwasare. He's our court affairs correspondent. Let's go up north now. The Northern Regional Chapter of the Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, is urging the government to, as a matter of urgency, provide life jackets and other incentives to hundreds of teachers who cross rivers and streams to go to islands and to schools to teach without these life jackets. The association says that life-threatening conditions the teachers go through are very dangerous with no motivation. Let's speak to Christopher Mwako, who is our correspondent following this story. Chris, what more can you tell us?
Yes, so briefly, according to the association, the northern region has a lot of island communities that are hard to reach and cut off from the main town centers. And so teachers in these communities have to endure harsh conditions to be able to get to school. For instance, crossing rivers, even some of them swim across these streams and rivers before they are able to get to school. This the association describes as unfortunate, and the fact that they are supposed to be provided with life jackets so that they can easily access these schools, even though even traveling in canoes is not the best. And so that has been their call, and that government should also fast-track the implementation of the 20% motivational allowance for teachers who accept postings to hard-to-reach communities. Let's take a listen to the Northern Regional Chairman of the Ghana National Association of Teachers.
Teachers are going through a lot, particularly within here. Some of them are crossing rivers to get to island communities just to make sure that they do their job by way of trying to model, trying to nurture, trying to groom our young ones. Of course, in our collective bargaining agreement, we have what we call the 20% allowance for the deprived teacher. It has been there in the books for years. Happily, we heard when government mentioned that they're going to make sure that this particular allowance will be enjoyed by the teacher. But up to date, it is yet to come to fruition. So we are calling on government to expedite actions on this so that the teacher, the rural teacher, of course, will benefit. No amount of money can actually be compensated for the good work that the teacher is doing, particularly the rural teacher.
And Christopher Mwako is still on the line with us. What more can you tell us as regards the next action that NAT intends to take? We've lost Christopher Mwako on the line. You're still here on the Midday News on 3FM 92.7. Now, the Chief Executive Officer of the Environmental Protection Agency, Professor Nanama Kluche, is urging Ghana to take space science seriously to address emerging challenges in the agriculture and mining sectors. Speaking at the Made in Ghana Space Conference at the University of Ghana, Professor Kluche emphasized the need for the country to invest in the production of space technologies, noting that the global space economy, currently valued at $600 billion, is projected to exceed some $1.3 trillion within the next decade.
We can use space technology for precision mining, which means that prospecting to degrade the environment in many ways we can reduce that, because we can be very specific to where we can touch on the minerals and zoom in straight there to explore than to prospect. So Ghana very soon will stop. In fact, we have started the process to stop prospecting licenses, because there are technologies to be precise as to where we can find gold or any mineral to mine. The same way we can use to monitor our water bodies. So if we can use that to improve upon our agriculture, which we depend on so much for our in the economy, and also let the minerals or gold that we depend so much for our economy. It means that Ghana will be a better place when we explore space technologies much better than what we're doing now.
And you have the boss of the EPA, Professor Nanama Brown Kluche. This week is Customer Service Week, a time when businesses around the world say thank you to their customers for their loyalty and support. While some companies are sending appreciation messages and social media posts, many customers say words alone are not enough. They want real value, better treatment, and lasting improvement. Grace Hamwajiman has been finding out as regards what the customers want in this report.
Is that the text messages are okay, because if, for instance, if the company belongs to you, you have to send millions of Ghanaians gifts. How are you gonna take it? So I think it's okay. The text messages are okay.
So with the experience, has it been good? Has it been bad?
Oh, it's been okay. I mean, this even remind you. I mean, they are telling you today's Customer Service Day, so it will help you in your day-to-day organizations and everything.
Yeah, but have you had any bad experience with the customer service you work before?
No.
Okay, so
I'm a banker, so I don't.
Okay.
To be honest, I've experienced some excellent customer service, especially from the where it's your birthday, they send you text and sometimes always gift you with free call minutes and data on your birthday. However, I've also experienced bad customer service from most companies with managing large crowds and long queues. So because of this, it tends to end the customer service personnel losing their patience and also speaking rudely to us, the customers, when they feel overwhelmed.
They have good customer recognition. I mean, how they receive people there, how they treat people. I think I'll prefer them or something like that. Yeah. So the celebration should go beyond messages. What I expect more.
So what's more if you say you want more?
What I say is we need more things from them. So we need more, as in we want more airtime from them.
And you heard Grace Hamwajiman interacting with some customers as this week marks World Customer Week. Now, the Ghana Private Road Transport Union is urging the government to take steps to stabilize fuel prices. The union says fuel prices have been steadily increasing since transport operators reduced fares by some 15% when diesel and petrol sold at 12 cedis 69 pesos and 11 cedis 34 pesos per litre. Let's speak to George Quainin, who is with them at a news conference. He joins us live on the phone. George, what more can you tell us?
Yes. So, Beatrice, thank you so much. So, the industrial relations officer of the GPRT was the one that addressed the media today, and their concerns are straightforward. Government to ensure there's some sort of stability in the prices of petroleum products, because obviously this is the commodities that they used to work, and so if there's this continuous increment, they'll be compelled to increase the prices of transport fares to accommodate their lost revenue. So as it stands now, when you go to the OMCs or the fuel pumps, 4 cedis, 20 pesos per liter, you'll be buying, diesel, and 13 cedis, 38 pesos. That is the current price for petrol. And so government should ensure that this very price is maintained or reduced. But if there's any, upward adjustment, then they will increase the transport fare, because the second pricing window of October will be announced on the 16th of October this month till the end of the month. So, but there are predictions that it might increase, looking at the foreign, situation and all that. So, if you want to add all these things and then internal matters, there's some positivity in the increment in fuel prices in the second pricing window on October 16th, Beatrice.
Thank you very much, George Quaining, currently with the GPRTU at that press conference. Let's listen to exactly what Imoro said.
On those issues, for now, we are just pleading with those in authority to make sure they hold their fort for us, because currently schools have been open. Our children are going to go to school. We have to make sure we transport them to and from, and many other things. So when West come to West, we'll get there. But for now, we are just dealing with those in authority to make sure they hold their fuel prices for it. That is where a professional driver would also have a briefing space. So we are pleading, and they should do that for us.
And he has Abbas Imoro, who speaks for the GPRTU. That's it for the news here on 3FM, the midday news on 3FM 92.7. My name is Beatrice Edu. Thank you very much for joining us today. Log on to 3news.com for more news. Coming up shortly is Business Daily with Bismarck Awusa.
Accra, Ghana, Africa, and worldwide. Join us on Inspirational Gospel Mix this and every Sunday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m.